fucking end, dog. This ain't it, bro. This ain't human life. That's what I'm gonna say. This ain't human life. Vivid. I don't think he gonna change the world that much. But he understands there's some fuckery going on. And that's a start. That's the start. Bruh. I had to stop for a little bit. Nigga was getting kind of tired. Them niggas coming kinda quick. Oh man. I fucked up his momentum. He was booking at a good 70. I had to get on the high whistle though, man. I had to get on the highway. I'm on the highway to heaven. Even though I don't believe in no heaven, I'ma throw this bitch Saturday night. So, why am I recording? Hopefully, this is the kind of shit that realistically, as a man, you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. I got the feds behind me though. Take it easy. I think that the Fed, they got the white hood. The lights on 75 miles per hour. And everything I'm supposed to. So why am I recording this? Because my mind was starting to go places that wasn't necessarily conducive to growth. Think about a girl. I was thinking about, I gotta change this fucking picture, man. Like, you know how the iPhone, it tells you like the first picture of different albums and shit. Well, there's this one where it says places, and it has her picture, but she sent me a picture, and it's like a nude type, you know, not 100% naked, but a sexy picture, so I can't get her off my mind in a way. She's like right there. And she would always send me pictures. Every time I hit, she'd go home and send me a picture. Very strategic. So, for the most part, you know, she did a good job at marketing herself. But overall as well, I'm not, and I'm going to say this shit, but it's going to lead to something else. I'm genuinely not satisfied with my life. I'm not, you know, I'm not having meaning. I don't find meaning in what I'm doing right now. One thing that, as I got a chance to do a lot of different jobs, I worked a lot of different jobs, I noticed that based on the skill set that I have, based on the things that I've been accepted to do for work, I say that towing has been the most fun. And on top of that, they actually, the numbers made sense for me at that. Not that it was good money, but relative to other jobs that I had. But then I got into towing, like not repo, but parking, enforcing. Actually, one for me. faint at heart. That shit wasn't for me. I'm trying to make this world a better place. You know what it is to wake up early in the morning and fuck somebody's day up? Hell no, bro. Hey, it's just not. I think that long-term karma in that industry is not good. I believe it shouldn't be. And then I'm thinking about my life as I'm in this truck. It's not so much. I like to drive, but this is exaggeration. You know what I'm saying? I drove for like you out here on the road, bro, you really self-correct, get to the core of what really matters, what's important. And it all boils down to me. All of it. The fact that I said early on that I'm not satisfied with my life, guess what? The only motherfucker in this world that can change that, me. I heard a mentor years ago, he said this, he said, look, the good thing about being a business owner is that it's up to you. Now the downside to being a business owner is that it's up to you. And something that I'm learning about myself, it's not even that I'm lazy. Because I'm doing this shit every fucking day. Waking up, I'm on the grind. I'm just using the wrong tools. I'm expanding my energy in the wrong places. I'm focusing on low leveraged opportunities. And when I do focus on the higher leveraged opportunities, I'm not giving it my all. I'm giving it what's left. The residue. The leftovers, sloppy thirds, nothing but dots. You know what I mean? Side note, I ended up getting on Bumble today. I'm gonna change my approach. See if I can get some interest, because maybe the energy I'm putting out there trying to get bitches, maybe it'll change once they start coming to me. That would change my swag a little bit. 1, 2, I need to change my focus anyway. Straight up, I need to change my focus. I need to focus on better things. And I also need to put myself in a position of selecting, choosing. Me, when I'm hunting, I mean, I go based off attraction, but outside of that, if I can get that bitch to my house, it's over. I'm trying to fuck. I've already invested from a physical perspective. Now it's all, let's get her inside. I don't want to know too much until I fuck. So now girls are reaching out to me. Maybe a different approach. Now, why did I go on Bumble? Because I was looking up wealthy women. I'm always learning from entrepreneurs, successful business owners, and they are always men. Years ago, I told myself I'm gonna start reading books that women wrote. I wanted to do it because I always had a interest in understanding. I wanted to understand what I was always after. And I came across that founded Bumble. And I became a consumer immediately. Rather than learning about her, which I will pull up the video and watch it on YouTube. That is the goal. I want to learn what, because look, a successful woman, we be talking shit, but there is successful women. There's women that work hard and got work ethic like a motherfucker. You talk shit, I talk shit. Not every woman is selling pussy. I know that for a fact. And I gotta change my narrative, man. I said this before and I fell off of it, but it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna push forward. My belief around women is so negative. I'm not saying it's wrong, or I'm not saying that my thoughts aren't right, but they're negative. And I think there's enough people already putting a spotlight on the fuckery. I don't think that's my space. I want a better life for myself, and I think that starts with, these thoughts are coming from a position of you attract what you think of. That's where this like mentality's coming from. Is as long as I keep thinking that women are dots, women are sluts, XYZ, I'm gonna always attract those type of women. Always. Now, I also gotta stay open-minded to the game. Just because I'm believing for girls to be good, see, it's a weird beam to balance. It's weird, and I don't think there is no between. I either act according to having a girl that don't do that shit, or I act according to bitches that do that shit. That's the truth. And guys, I'm doing this shit, bro, because I'm telling you, bro, if at the very least I don't figure this shit out, somebody's gonna level up 1 degree, 5 degrees, 10 degrees because of the shit that I'm overcoming. Somebody's gonna get that spark, that idea, maybe that transition in mindset. At the very least. Switching gears. I'm on 7th gear right now. Bro, money has been so important to me. I've been wanting it so fucking bad that I forgot about everything else in life. And I've not been successful at getting the very same thing that I wanted. It's like the saying is like, when you don't try as hard, shit really start happening. I was thinking about this as I was laying down. I was like, what the fuck is it that I want to do? And it's not so much about what I want to do, it's about the type of problems that I want to solve, the type of people that I want to deal with, the environment that I want to be surrounded by. Case in point, I can make money by selling drugs, but the one thing I know I don't want is to fucking deal with people that are drug addicts all day. That's just not what I want to do. That's the level of conversation of people that I'll be having if I chose that route. I'm not wasting my full tank of gas. Right? So that's why I don't want to sell drugs. It's not because it ain't money. It is because that comes with the territory. That comes with dealing with a specific demographic of people. Not that I don't want to help those people, but I don't want to fucking sit here and let that be my association. On top of that, the people that you're making money with, it just creates a whole, it's a cycle, it's a community, if you will, that I don't want to be a part of. I want to do it different. Now then, the question is, what am I doing right now? What kind of value am I providing? Well, look, I figured out what the value is for myself. But sometimes you got to communicate the fucking message so people understand. A lot of us are seeking advice from people that already made it. And The reason you don't fucking relate, the reason you don't make no goddamn progress is because they made it. You're comparing yourself to somebody that's already at their fucking pinnacle of success. How are you gonna relate? You can't. Unless they go back and start giving you stories about how they used to. Well, this nigga right here, he telling you how it is at the time. So if there's anything within my life that you're pointing out, first of all, do me the favor and comment. Tell me what that is. Tell me I should adjust. Tell me I should improve. Tell me I should tone it down a bit. Tell me I should increase my tenacity, my tone of voice. Maybe I need to talk like this. Maybe I need to speak more proper. Maybe I need to lower my tone of voice. Maybe I need to, whatever the fuck criticism or constructive criticism you have, tell me. I want to know. At the same time, I need you to understand that whatever you see in me, whatever flaw just came to mind, and you're like, oh, keyboard warriors, they call them. I want you to copy, paste that message and send it to yourself. What is this shit about, bro? As I was driving, I see big businesses, and I'm like, one fucking man thought about creating that motherfucker. Obviously, he has a whole bunch of people working, and he's feeding more than just one person. There was one fucking person that said, I'm doing this. Anything that's worked on a lot will grow. And these are basics that, like, I think I never even thought about until I started listening to a video on YouTube. And I'll name drop him in a few. Maybe I won't. Because who it is matters, but it doesn't. I'll give him his flowers as I grow. But right now, like, from all levels, bro, he's probably one of the biggest examples that, like, there's people in this world that are good examples, but very few, and I don't know him personally, but very few are good examples on all pillars. For me, fitness, I mean, it's probably, I could see the flaw, I could probably find it, but that would be a spotlight on me, an area that I could improve in. But he's a good example, and the one thing that he's been teaching me is, first of all, I'm lazy as fuck. Second of all, he was already a millionaire by the time I'm at the age that I'm at right now. And I know that's not a positive thing to dwell on, but it's the reality. So in my head, I'm like, bro, somebody was clearly doing something way different that led to the life that they have, and which allowed them to be in the position that they're in today. And I gotta ask myself, why am I right here, right now? And it's an accumulation of decisions that I made 5, 7, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. And I noticed that within the last 10 years, there's nothing that I've done consistently. So go fucking figure. No wonder I haven't seen massive success. I've not worked on anything long enough to fucking see it. Anything that you focus on expands. If you work on something long enough, it'll get better. I've not fucking done it. And I'm not proud of it, but I'll be one of the loudest fucking voices of keeping it a fucking stack. And I believe that's gonna be my fucking breakthrough. Because there's not enough people in this world that are fucking real. Too many fucking fakes. Way too many fakes. And I refuse to be one of those people, bro. If my value right now is by speaking right now, I'm not gonna wait till it's a testimony. I'm not gonna wait. A mentor of mine years ago said, never talk about a struggle until it's a victory. And I got that at the time. Here's the truth. If this is what I'm overcoming right now, bro, it's gonna help somebody because I'm not the only motherfucker going through this shit. Now, what's the solution? I don't know that shit yet. No, I know it. Here's the problem. I've not applied the solution consistent enough. And I'm sure I'm the only one. I'm sure I'm the only one that falls in this category. I'm sure I'm the only one. But if not, if there's somebody else out there that could relate, that they've lacked consistency, that they've lacked the ability to focus, don't pop an addy. Nah, I'm just joking, don't do that. I have this girl that she does that. And a part of me too, I see people that have success. And one thing that I do kind of hate on is like, bro, when people get success and it's like they're doing negative stuff, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, she does drugs. She made more money than me, but she pops Adderall. And then I always come to the realization that there's always a long-term, there's always a ramification, there's a long-term effect to everything. And if I have to sacrifice success or lack thereof and just grind it out, and it's gonna take time to figure it out, then so be it. She gave me a couple of them. I haven't popped them. And I'm not gonna front, she's a girl that I miss a little bit. When I think practically about where that relationship was going, I was drinking every day. We hung out. I was smoking guards, even though I like guard. I would smoke every time she'd come. I buy me a lot. From a financial perspective, that wasn't the right move at the time. And my habits were genuinely changing. So I tell myself this because as much as I don't want to say this, I need to pick the right girl, because the wrong girl will destroy me. The wrong girl will absolutely destroy me. And when I'm going out hunting, it can get hungry after a while. I'm eating that. Not literally, figuratively. I'm eating that. She said yes. If I approached her, you come with me. Because you gotta realize, as a man, it's a numbers game, bro. As a man, I already proved to myself that a nigga ain't scared of approach. So traditionally, of course, it makes sense to approach the girl. But a lot of times, from a foundation perspective, nigga just stuck with it because he been hunting all day and he got one. And she just happened to have a couple of good traits. The pussy was good for, he didn't want to keep hunting or whatever. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna take this approach. As far as my personal growth in business, I really believe that I could generate money through a lifestyle blog, recording, document. My life may not be entertaining to another person, but I believe that as I grow, that's gonna change easily. Also, introducing a girl in my life, having her right by my side, I believe that all of that will increase my channel views, all of that, my life. Why do I say this? Is because the one thing that I'm doing every day is living. And I seem to have a desire to want to do good for people, not myself. Something that I made a shift in was taking my, and trucking is actually what got me started with that. You got no choice. Once in a while, you're like, I'm going to a restaurant. But one of my biggest upgrades is taking myself out to eat. And it's funny because a girl asked me, like, what do you do? What do you do for fun? I was like, I just like, I take myself out to eat or whatever. And it's crazy because what there's levels to this shit. I'm just improving. But that is a step. And the reason why I was able to get success with some of the girls that I did have success with is because I was moving under that authority of doing something that I genuinely was doing. There's levels to it, right? So as you level up, you start doing better things, more things, and ultimately girls just want to be involved in a nigga that's doing stuff. So I say this because it's kind of embarrassing that that's considered something like a leveling up, is taking yourself out to eat. But the truth is that before, I would never do that. That's too much money. $30. What the fuck are you talking about? So my point is, if I invited a girl out, I'll spend 60, 80. So I would. So what I would do is avoid it. So I don't. Right? Like I just know what I would do. So I'm like, nah, man, fuck all that dating shit. Because I'm trying to avoid doing things that are required if you take somebody out. And I don't like being considered cheap. And I think that the only thing that's protected me from being, inherently I'm soft. It is what it is. Soft. But what has protected me from not getting got is the fact that I don't got nothing to get. So in a way, I have to kind of work with what I have, and it works to my favor. Versus everybody else, what I'm learning is people are out there, for real, spending dollars on women. So like, I be wondering why women, but women don't really complain about the government. All these conspiracy bullshits is rare. We call them pygmies. Even though I kind of get attracted by them, the girls that like are on our side, if you will, like finally one of them gets it. But then I'm like, there's few. And I don't know where I'm going with this. That's the point. There's something bigger than just me. And I may have not discovered it yet, but there's times when I get the rolling and I'm like, this is it. If it wasn't for me saying the shit, if it wasn't for me saying the crap, I would not have gotten to these moments. Like, for example, I was thinking about this earlier. It's like, bro, there's a lot of videos that I've created that I still put up knowing that it's shit, but I know that, first of all, I never took the time to review, edit, etc. But I remember moments where I was flowing and saying positive stuff, information that was valid. But my thing is, I never take the time to go back and find that specific point and edit it and do all the crap required, because it's just too much for me. Like, that's not my role. I'm a creator. I don't got time to edit. I'm a creator, not an editor. Woo! That hard type shit. You know what I mean? I be freestyling life. I be writing bars on life. I be in the studio on life. And this is huge, guys. Like, I'm realizing this shit right now. But I'm telling you guys that the only fucking way I got to this fucking point is by going through the fucking bullshit. And if I would have waited until my craft was perfect, I would have never gotten to this moment. If I would wait to only hit record, or if every time I start getting off topic or not provide value, I'd hit pause and then start, I would have never got that out right there. And I always think big picture. I posted, and in my head years ago I said, bro, somebody's gonna edit all of this, bro. They're gonna cut out what isn't valuable to the world. But I still wanna have it out there. I just wanna have a separate funnel where people actually get the highlights of the positive stuff. But I am not going to, think about it, bro. You spent, there's 24 hours in a day. Let's say you spent 8 hours, let's say you spend 5 hours recording. Live the moment. Another 3 hours editing. And these are little numbers, because editing is not a joke. And then another 2 weeks trying to criticize, and maybe the numbers that I said were wrong, adding music, and there's just so much to, you're already delayed is what I'm saying. The point that you drove at that time is no longer relevant. We're moving way too quick. Way too quick for you to be focused on, like, you live the moment already. On top, I'll say this, when we record ourselves, we're already taken away from the moment. We're already delaying shit. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, I like this, when I don't hold the phone and record, I like it better because it makes this one, like, I'm more in my natural state. But on God, bro, I'm gonna have a team. I wanna have a person following me, recording my life. Everything. I mean, you know, everything. But, you know, just leave the camera right there. I'm finna close this real quick. But everything, you know what I mean? Because I've first of all, we've been monetized for the longest. I've been somebody's asset all my life. To this day, I'm still an asset to somebody. Bro, I'm driving 3,000 miles, which again, I know these numbers are finesse, for less than $3,000. More like 400 to 600. I don't know. I gotta do the math again. $700. What I'm trying to get at is I'm somebody's asset, and I've been positioned this way, and I got more inside of me, bro. I give a fuck more than people that I listen to. I actually give a fuck more. I'm sharper than people that I listen to. More intelligent. I give a fuck. I'm more involved. I care about regulation. I care about following rules. I care about following law. I care about shit like that. I don't want to cut corners when it comes to shit that, because I'm the one in the trenches. And I know what it is to actually be compliant and follow rules. And I, for example, in this industry, like right in this trucking industry, bro, it's dirty, but it's clean. And what I'm trying to say is I don't want to speak too much right now, but people don't give a fuck. And I'm a part of that, people not giving a fuck. That's all I'm gonna say for now. That's all I'm gonna say for now. But keep growing, guys. Don't allow weak-minded motherfuckers to hold you back, including me. Be the best version of yourself. Drop out of school. Invest in what I want you to do before you drop out of school, save up $5 grand. If you can't get to that, different tiers. I'll say save up a stack, $2,500, $3,500, $5,000 for different people. Don't buy a car. The first thing you want to buy is a course. Whatever course it is, take as many free ones as possible, different asset classes, before you invest into it, right? So let me backtrack. What I want you to do is, how about this? What I want you to do is, if you want to start all over, or if you're young, starting the process, if you've never bought your own car, usually that's the first ticket item, high ticket item that everyone buys. It's a car. Before you do that, before you move out on your own, get your own apartment, all of that, go back and take as many free courses online as possible. Drop out of school, but before you do this, I gotta say this in order, but hopefully you get the picture and kind of creatively figure this out for yourself. Before you drop out of school, have the money to invest into a course. Before you drop out of school, while you're in school, and before you invest money into a course, take as many free courses as possible. Investing in the stock market, crypto, learn about tech, AI, learn about the military, learn about whatever interest you have, online money, real estate. Learn about it all, being an employee versus an employer, learn taxes. Just take courses, free courses. And the one that intrigues you the most, I want you to find a course. You'll know which course to buy, you'll resonate most with the teacher. And that course that you pay money for is the business you're gonna make money in. It's not the one you're gonna do forever, but that's the one that you will stick with until you make money in it. Have a threshold, a break point that you're like, okay, when I break 6 figures in this industry, that's when I'll decide if it's forever or not. Until then, once you make that investment into a course, stick with it. Because the problem is not the course, the problem is not the asset class, the problem is nothing but you. It's going to be the amount of information and more opportunities, shiny objects that are going to be presented to you in the process. I'm not sharing this to you from I'm an example perspective. I've already told you that I'm not. I'm sharing you as I'm an example of what not to do, because I've gotten, I still to this day get got. I keep switching from opportunity to opportunity, and I keep buying into other people's stories. In reality, people need to buy into mine. And if I could teach you a lesson and tell you, bro, you're gonna save so much time. Look, nothing's gonna change by you entering a new opportunity. Let's say you have 6 months in the stock market. sudden you hear about options. Now you start taking courses on options. Okay. So now you got 12 months in the financial markets, but you have a little more depth in the financial markets. But then, out of nowhere, a friend comes up to you and he mentions real estate. He mentions wholesaling. And you start learning about wholesaling, about the opportunity and the money that could be made. You stop putting as much focus on options and stocks, and then you get into wholesaling. What we're not realizing is the amount of effort it's going to take to make it, to be successful in one business, and then the amount of energy that we're spreading towards activities which aren't even conducive to growth. We are tricking ourselves into thinking that knowing more is going to help us be more successful, when in reality, digging deeper is what's going to help us be successful. Digging deep, becoming a master at your craft. And again, this is so much easier to say, and I will continue hedging this. I'm not the best example at this. I am the best example at fucking failing and not following through and not being consistent. In fact, I had a girl years ago, and I would go like this because she was right. That bitch. But she was right. 100% right. She said, "You're not consistent in anything." At the time, I'm like, "Bitch, fuck you." I didn't even say that. I don't know how I reacted, but I know it really didn't hit me until later on in life. And there's a couple of people that have entered my life periodically, and those are the gems that I remember. Danny Snipes, Jay, Alex, and her. There's more people, but those are the ones that came to mind. Danny Snipes said, "A man that cannot remain consistent beats himself." She told me, "You're not consistent at anything." I said, "Bitch, I be dicking you down consistently." Not even. Because that bitch, I'm not gonna get into that, but I would deliberately not dick her down to make sure I didn't exchange good feelings with her, because I hated her so much. I said, "I ain't giving you no pleasure, because that's how much I hate you. Fuck you. You ain't making me feel good either. You ain't gonna help me not be mad by making me nothing. Fuck that, I wanna be mad," type shit. And the truth is that the only way to actually see success is by being consistent. The pro in consistency is, for me, is although I've not been consistent on one thing deliberately, in a way I have. I've been consistent at this right here. What you see right here, this shit, I'm consistent in. But the one thing that I'm learning is I've not improved my craft because I haven't consistently focused on improving my craft. I consistently focus on trying to make money. I consistently focus on trying to break through. I consistently get sold, which takes me away from what I'm currently working on. I actually ended up blogging for over a year. I stopped. Went through some hardship. I stopped. I've been in the marketing game for years, but every time I overcome something gets in front of me like an obstacle, I stop. But I noticed that me switching up, as long as I have this perspective, is still a W. Yeah, I could have had success a lot sooner, but the fact that I have not stopped and I'm still here speaks volume on me, consistency on continuing to move forward and not quitting. And also, it gives me a better positions me better when I finally decide to remain consistent on one thing. Now I have a bigger scope, a bigger lens to look through. I'm just being optimistic about my lack of consistency, but there's lessons that could be had in being scatterminded. Seeking new opportunity, going into different industries, fucking different women. All of it has pros and cons, man. There's so much about life that you gotta appreciate. And one of them is the fact that you can talk. I know a lot of times I criticize myself when I'm talking because criticism really comes from the lack of attention, the lack of likes, the lack of hearts, the lack of shares. Let's get honest, in this social media world we live in, we all want to be known, we want to be famous, we want to be known, we want to be popular. Social media is essentially a popularity contest. It's the same shit that was going on in high school at scale. Same exact shit. And people change once they start gaining that popularity. You start forgetting about the people that fucked with you in the beginning. All of that is happening, it's just virtual. Life hasn't changed much. What changed is the median source in which we engage life in. That's what changed. But humans are still, on a foundational level, habitually the same. I remember recording some voice memos, and the default recording, instead of it being numbered, I changed the default recording to be titled Pattern Breakup. The reason for that is because I've done things in my life that I know nobody's done. And I've also done things in my life that I know I didn't do last year. And that's an accomplishment. For me, I stopped somewhere today. I stopped on the side of the road, took a piss. It may be so small, but the way, the grip, the stronghold that the world is operating under, meaning everybody's in the same cycle. Rarely are people thinking different outside the box. They're stuck in a box. That box is very, very small. It's based on a Spotify playlist. It's based on a YouTube playlist. Rarely are people actually thinking. When I get in these rants, again, I give myself credit because if it wasn't for the first 10 minutes I was shit, I would have not gotten that moment. And of course, I could deliver better. I could learn how to be more animated. I could do all of that. But the way to get to that is by going through the crap. And then, I also want you to give yourself more credit. I don't want you to beat yourself up as much, because what is crap? What is poor quality? If we look at it from a macro perspective, if you're a godly believer, if you believe in there's a father, and the father is God, if you believe in that, just play with it. Anything, if you're a father, anything your young son does is awesome. When I saw my son ride a bike and I seen it late, I'm not as involved as I'd love to be, but he was old and it still touched my heart. Like, drastically, I said, wow, man. Just one day, and it wasn't me that taught him, and I got a little in my feeling, I'm like, but I made that better. But the point is that, look at them cows chilling. Brown cows, brown white cows. That's that quality shit. Nah, I don't know which one is better. mention that is because, you know, my son. Riding bike. Okay, so that's, I was trying to remember what I was talking about. So, like, any father seeing his son do anything, that's how you need to look at your creation. And I've thought about this myself. It's like, yeah, okay, my video is crap, but the fact, like, if you look at yourself from a father perspective, this is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that I still got this finger, I'm grateful for. The fact that I'm driving this fucking 80,000 pound beast is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know I could do more, and I try to maximize my time and my skills, improving skill set and my talents. See how I kind of doubt myself? And I bet I'm not the only one. But I got to do a better job and give myself credit, and also looking at myself like a father would, because anything you do on earth is worth celebrating. Anything you do on earth is worth celebrating. Anything. It's getting to a point where we're so numb. We've been underappreciated. A lot of us hate a lot, and rightly so. To a certain degree, I'm not going to act as if the optimism is good to a certain extent, but there is a point of no return. There is a point of, you can be as optimistic as possible, but there's something at play. Bad shit will happen. That does happen. There is a ramification to things, regardless of what positivity thought you have. Positivity could begin to transition that and change the patterns of what, and then create a new ramification of something good that's going to happen. But ultimately, on day one, after being so negative and pessimistic, optimism is not just going to change your life and your results. Time will. But also time with optimism and positivity. And I don't know where you are right now. I don't know how much you have to climb. I don't know how much shit you're gonna have to eat. It's all dependent on your upbringing, your environment, TV shows you watch, the music you listen to, the amount of watch hours you have on television, all of that. Switch gears real quick. I was watching Vivek today, and one thing he was talking about, a girl asked him about Christianity and religion, and he was saying he's a Hindu. But the one thing that he did say was that God is within. And that's the foundation of a powerful person. When they are not trying to be the God, but they're helping you recognize the God in you. And anybody can say they do that as well. And they may just mention it here and there. They may read it in scripture once a month, maybe once every 6 months. But the motherfucker that is teaching you to be the best version of yourself by being an example is what we need, is what you need. And again, I always communicate this because I know the judgment is going to be out there. But if you are looking at me from a position of judgment, that's okay. I'm doing this on purpose. I could be cool. Trust me. I could fit in. I could buy some decent clothing. I know enough to be stylish. I could buy me some Dugs, some Forces, some J's. I could buy me some, 80. I'm talking about what I could afford. I'm not saying it's something to flex on, but where I'm at, I could buy 80 to 120, even $200 jeans. I could fit in and play the part. I could get some golds. I could get a chain. I could get a newer car. I could finance a car, and I could not drive the truck that I drive and actually get into payments. I could do that. But I've always wanted to break through real, raw, gutter. I told this girl as well, the one that gave me access to some stuff. Like, you know, the reason I've never done this stuff is because like, for example, I've heard of an artist from the West Coast, Raj something. He said something about Adderalls. Daddy make me nauseous. And I've thought about doing other things to make me break through when I was writing music and creating instrumentals. But I never did except weed. But even then, that shit ain't really help me. Weed didn't help me when I came to write. I wanted to go to sleep. But the point is that and the word is dependent. I didn't want to be dependent. I didn't want my success to be dependent on something that would take me down. So that's the decision I made a long time ago. I've done drugs. I'm not saying I've not done drugs. In fact, I've done them, you know what I'm saying? But not trying to work on and do something to, like, no, I've recorded, done all that shit without being on drugs. When I record, when I'm lit, when I'm hype, I'm not on drugs. That's my natural state. In fact, now I notice that I'm actually less energetic and less vibrant when I do drugs, like alcohol, for sure, but so I wanted to make sure that I succeeded without needing that. So right now, if you're doing that to cope, to not deal with life, that's one thing. But if you're doing it to break through, because, like, I'll finish with this. I had a friend that he said when he got on that alcohol, he could goddamn talk to any girl. So whatever that thing is that you could do, you have so much confidence in, while you're intoxicated or drugged up, find a way to do it without it. And I think that's another way to find out what your passion is. I'm starting to get a little tired.